Alright guys, so this next Patreon request comes from my good friend Jason Voorhees 2011, who asked me to do a crossover that was supposed to come out for Halloween, but I didn't have time, so I've been sitting on it. So now it's like, let's make it a little more wintry. And that is, as you can see, Beetlejuice, Hocus Pocus, and Nightmare on Elm Street. So yeah, as always, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. That'll allow you access to do so. And yeah. So anyway, let's get started with the video. So this this story takes place on the day of the winter solstice. So the winter solstice, much like Halloween, is like a barrier between life and death, has weakened enough so spirits can come through. However, there's this pagan cult who desires to go one step further. Essentially, what they want to do is take ownership of, what they want to do is take ownership of beings from the dead and enslave them. So this cult, which is out somewhere in the, snowy forests of, like the Northeast, and they've been going out of their way to collect certain items that have like mortal connection to certain beings of the dead. So what this cult has collected, essentially, is one, they've collected the glove of Freddy Krueger, the original glove he used to kill children. They also found the spell book that belonged to the Sanderson sisters, and on top of that, what they also found was a cigar that belonged to Beetlejuice that he once smoked while on Earth. So all of those have connection to the to the ethereal, and they're like, what these beings will be able to, like, we will be able to control the masses, through their dreams, through the the living and the dead will both belong to us once we have once we have these beings under our control. That's the plan they have. So they do the ritual, and Freddy, Beetlejuice, and the Sanderson sisters are all pulled out of the afterlife, and they're immediately like chained up in like these ethereal chains. And yeah, they're just like, the hell is this? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, guys? Like, what is going on? So they're all confused and justifiably angry, and they're all just kind of like, what the hey, what the fuck? What's the deal here? Like, what are you trying to pull? So the cult leader is like, you don't get any say. Like, you don't get any say in what what goes on. We have say over you. And the three parties are like, well, you basically pulled us out of hell to make us slaves. Cool. I thought we all died to get out of minimum wage jobs. So Beetlejuice is like looking over his new companions, and he's like, all right, Sanderson sisters, I think I dated the redhead for a bit. I hope she don't remember me. And then he looks over at Freddy, and he's like, oh, here, to quote Chris Collinsworth, now here's a guy who is a real piece of shit. So he knows Freddy and the Sanderson sisters, and he knows what they're capable of, and he's just like, he's leaning over to Freddy, and he's like, hey, you gonna take that from them? And Freddy's like, shut up, you freak. Once I get out of here, I'm gonna kill all of them, and then I'm gonna go back to killing kids on Elm Street, and maybe the whole world if this plays right. And he's like, yeah, I get it, child killing, that's fine, skibbity toilet, you can all plunge them in the toilet for all I fucking care. Listen, if this goes south, maybe, a temporary alliance could be in our best interest, know what I mean? And Freddy's like, go on. He's like, well, I'm just saying, like, these guys don't look like all the world conquering type. Hell, they look like rich white kids up in the, who enjoy lovely times in the Aspen, but they don't know. They don't look like they can control, like they're in the ghost controlling business. So what say you and me, you, me, and the trio of hotties over there, make a temporary alliance, and we can, bust out of this joint and have some real fun. So, Freddy's like, all right, he's like, I'm listening, but how do we get out of here? And he's like, leave that to me. And he goes over to the Sanderson sisters, and he's like, hey, so, Baconface and I are gonna team up and get out of here, and once we do, we're gonna have all kinds of fun. You guys in? So the Sanderson sisters are like, Winifred is like, do I know you? Nope, no, you don't. You do not know me from. You don't know me from Adam. So, if we want to get out of this and have a happy afterlife ever after, we got to work together. So, you up for it? So, Sanderson sisters agree, and what basically Beetlejuice puts together is channeling all of like the dark energy they have together and freeing themselves, like channeling into one good blast to free themselves from their bonds. And the cult, of course, they're a bunch of dumb fucks, and they're like, dude, what the fuck happened? And Beetlejuice is like, oh, I'll tell you what happened. It's showtime. And yeah, Sanderson sisters, Beetlejuice, and Freddy all proceed to just fucking massacre this cult. They just go straight up, like, just bring all of these cult members, and as they do, they're like ripping off the hoods and seeing that, yeah, Beetlejuice was right. It's a bunch of rich white kids who are dealing with the occult, and Beetlejuice is like, let me guess, your daddy's pretty powerful and he's got money and has a secret society that does something similar, and you wanted to impress him by summoning demons. Newsflash, youngster, your daddy ain't gonna love you more than he loves his millions and his hot European side piece, and then proceeds to fucking kill him. So, as the slaughter basically continue, as the bodies start to really pile up, and they're just going nuts. Like, the Sanderson sisters are turning these guys into rats. Freddy's just slicing them left and right, until eventually only the cult leader's left. He's like, stay back. I still have power over you. I have power over with this book. And Beetlejuice is like, oh, a book, huh? Give me that. He just starts flipping through the book, and he's like, this is a voodoo book for dummies. Kid, let me give you some real book learning. And just slams the book's head, the book in between the guy's head and flattens it. Like in that scene in Ed, Edd n Eddy where Ed does the same to Eddie. Think that. Only this kills him. So all the cult leaders are dead. All the cult members are dead. And now Freddy and the Sanderson sisters are like, alright, cool. We're nice working with you, BJ. We're gonna go and kill a bunch of kids now. And Beetlejuice is like, well, that does sound fun, but I can't let you do that. And they're like, excuse me? Yeah, well, you see, I got a thing with this girl, and I don't think you're the right crowd for me, and I don't think she's gonna like it. I'm really trying to win her heart. So, I'm gonna send you all back to hell. So, Beetlejuice uses an incantation to send Freddy and the Sanderson sisters back to hell, and he's like, well, I guess I'm going back. The spell's gonna wear off soon, so, gotta make this quick. So he literally teleports himself all the way back to Lydia's house and is like, I want you to know I did something really good today, and I did it for you. I'll tell you all about it. Just if you ever want to call or talk, all you gotta say my name. And then he bounces out, and Lydia's just kind of left in this state of, what the fuck? So there you go, guys. That is the three-way crossover. I want to thank my good friend Jason Voorhees for coming up with this story. And yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it. And like I said, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon and you can do so. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.